Welcome to the Hoop Collective podcast. We talk about the NBA, which we're doing on Tuesday evening. Here, actually, it's almost Wednesday morning, but the NBA new league year is open. It's almost July out here in LA, which is where our man, front office insider, Bobby Marks, is with me.
Hello, Brian. I am literally a baseball throw away. I don't know if you got to get through the wall, but I'm in the vicinity.
Yeah, you're in the old SportsCenter studio. We don't do SportsCenter out of LA anymore, but there's the old studio still there.
I feel the Stan Verrett and vibes coming through.
Yeah,
Linda
Neil
Cohen,
Everett.
Neil Everett. Yeah, this is where
absolutely.
we are. Yep.
All right, joining us from Dallas, Texas, is Ben McMahon.
Howdy, partners. I feel like we might need a little windy sleep update. How you doing on that?
Well, I mean, Bobby and I are both, going wall to wall.
I'll say this: Wendy got a break today on the show tonight because we got Richard rolled. When Richard rolled in, and you had Perk, and Sharpe was kind of taking a back seat. Brian had like a 45-minute break from talking during
and I was
the
on air.
A's and C's on air.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so we had a minor news day today by NBA standards. You may have heard LeBron James has decided that he I really think it's a mutual decision, really. I'm calling it a conscious uncoupling. But, he has decided he is going to move on from the Lakers, and the Lakers are prepared to move on from him. And for the moment, it's not acrimonious. We'll see if it remains that way going forward. But there's too much going forward to pay attention to. So we'll deal with that if it gets to this point and things are moving on. And so I think the two big things that came to light were that, number one, LeBron continues to want to play. Now, I was just very cautious because I hadn't heard that until today, and it was explained to me that LeBron does want to play. And also, and again, this sounds basic, but I feel like I need to articulate it. He wants to play in a very competitive team. He wants to play meaningful basketball. And the money is not the number one importance. His basketball happiness is, because, he's going to be moving away from his family on some level. So maybe not total happiness, which is how we were referring to it earlier, but basketball happiness. So, Bobby, that's code for I'll play for less than the max and even less than a very large amount of money. I don't know yet if that means he'll play for the minimum or if he's going to want an exception. But it brings, for the first time of all the LeBron free agencies, of which there's now been 4 significant ones, this is the 4th one, it's the first time that you haven't had to plan for cap space for 1 to 2 years leading up, and that we have a whole bunch of teams that can go after him now, and that is why this situation is both intriguing and different than the past.
Well, and I think what's intriguing, yeah, right, when their teams aren't going to have to go through hoops to try to clear out room to go sign him and everything. I think what's intriguing is that he really is, although he's the best free agent out there, he's kind of not really holding up free agency because we kind of know what these teams have to offer, whether it be Golden State or Cleveland. Miami might have to move a little bit of money if he wants to go for $6 million there, but they're all kind of on equal playing field. Now, that doesn't mean those teams don't have to go out and upgrade their roster or maybe try to add pieces to that to make it maybe a little bit more appealing. I think each potentially could do that. But we were talking about today, all three make a compelling case. They're all different, right? With Curry and Draymond and Butler eventually getting back, and in the Cleveland situation with basically the whole team, and then Giannis and Bam in Miami, and it's. You would like to say, go East, young man, but man, the East has gotten better. And I know that the two big, and Tim will talk about the two, San Antonio and OKC are the, creme de la creme. But with Kawhi in the East now, and New York, and Indiana will be better and stuff. All these other teams, the East has certainly gotten better here.
Yeah, and look, Detroit's got a chance to get better. They're going to have to figure out a way to do it, but they at least have some flexibility and a chance. I still think if it's just about maximizing the chance to win a championship, then he's going back home, right? Then I think that the Cavaliers would have the best chance. If James Harden becomes their fourth best player, that to me is their best chance. It's also the best storybook ending if this is indeed the last year to go back for a third time. The place obviously where it all started, where he delivered the first championship in 50 whatever years in the city's pro sports history. That's the storybook ending. Miami's intriguing, that return alongside Giannis and, obviously Bam with the Team USA ties, Spo, a reunion there. Wendy, I know you talked on TV today about how they bonded during the Team USA stuff. And then, look, if it's about money, you go to Golden State where they can put together the full mid-level. And it's an awfully intriguing thing to see LeBron and Steph kind of in the twilight together. It would be really weird to see him in a Warriors uniform, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I gotta say, when I did some Cleveland media today, their radio people were they felt a certain way about it, and I think they sort of represent a way a lot of fans felt. And
I mean, Sharpe too. Yeah,
Sharpe did not like this. Sharpe did not like the idea. This is a guy who went to battle against the Warriors in 3 of the finals he was at. He did not like the idea of seeing LeBron in a Warriors uniform. I'm not sure that that's going to really figure into the calculus. But I agree with you, Bobby. I think an important point to put out here is that, because LeBron is probably taking an exception, even if it's the minimum exception, he can sit here and wait and watch. He's not going to slow free agency down. He's not going to slow a team's business down. It sounds like he's going to take some meetings, and whether it's him or it's just Rich Paul taking the meetings. And these meetings he's going to take, he's going to want to hear what the team's plan is, but he doesn't need to see their practice facility. He doesn't need to, necessarily hear about their plans for their long-term plans or whatever, like the binder that Luka got last year. He wants to know potentially who's going to be on the team now, this year, this minute. And that's where I think this is going to get interesting, McMahon. For the time being, and I'm afraid to say, I feel like we're going to have multiple podcasts with LeBron's free agency. I hope it's fast, but I'm afraid it's going to be slow. If other teams present themselves, we can take a look at it. But let's just focus on the 3 teams we're working on right now, which is Cleveland, Golden State, and Miami. You tell me if you think I'm wrong here. I feel like these teams have to do something with their roster to sweeten the pot for LeBron.
First of all,
they can't do it with money. They got to differentiate with themselves.
Okay, first of all, there was the decision back in the day. I've got a TV idea. Tour 29, a 4-week series where I figure you can hit Brooklyn and New York in one day. A 4-week series where LeBron visits all 29 of the other teams in the league. How about that?
I'll be divorced if that happens.
Right. So you threw out a potential Jaylen Brown to Cleveland deal for that reason, take that swing, get Jaylen Brown. Well, that'll open up LeBron's eyes. But to me, if you're giving up Evan Mobley in that deal, are you getting better if you're the Cavaliers?
Let's talk about that. So my point here